All right, guys, so we got to react to this video here from Charlemagne the God because apparently he's still salty about the fact that Larry Elder spanked him on the Breakfast Club before the GOP debate. Now, Larry Elder unfortunately did not qualify for the GOP debate. He definitely should have been on stage. However, allegedly, according to the RNC, one of the polls that Larry Elder used in order to qualify is not accepted by the RNC because apparently it's affiliated with Trump or something like that. Larry Elder is taking action and suing the RNC for leaving him out of the debate. However, Charlamagne the God, who's salty about being, again, spanked by Larry Elder on his own show, is going to try to take a victory lap on Larry Elder not qualifying for the RNC debate and try to use this as an example of how, the system, when it's rigged against you, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you still can't succeed, right? I think that's basically what he's trying to do, okay? He's trying to use this in order to further his victimhood narrative because, again, he's salty that Larry Elder spanked him and race hustling Teslin on his own show. So I want to react to it because, again, this just shows you just how mad Charlamagne the God still is at the fact that Larry Elder destroyed him to his face. So let's go ahead and get into this.
The voters ought to decide this. I mean, in 2016, there were 17 or 18 Republican candidates. Now there's 13. Somehow, some way, our republic survived, and we could survive with 13 candidates. I don't know why they have all this rule to eliminate certain people at this point. But rather than
those systems can hold you back no matter how hard you work, right?
I'm going to say, but rather than whine about it, my goal is to get on as many shows as I can, like yours. Urge people to go to LarryElder.com, give at least $1, even if you want somebody else.
It can hurt you no matter how hard you work, right, Larry? But Larry said instead of whine about it, he's going to come on more shows like Breakfast Club and just encourage people to work towards getting him on that stage. Well, Larry Elder must have changed his mind because he is now planning to sue the RNC after failing to make the first primary debate. He posted on Twitter yesterday, I said from the beginning that it appeared the rules of the game were rigged. Little did we know just how rigged it is. For some reason, the establishment leaders at the RNC are afraid of having my voice on the debate stage. As I told him last week, sometimes, Larry, no matter how hard you work, there are systems in place that are just rigged against you, okay?
Okay, so let's address this, right? Let's address this. Do I necessarily agree with the RNC's decision not to let Larry on stage? No, I don't. I think Larry should have been on stage. However, that doesn't disprove the idea that if you work hard, that you can be successful. That is what Larry Elder was getting at on this show, right? This is what he was telling Charlamagne the God. But Charlamagne the God believes that the system is so rigged against black people that black people can't get ahead, and that's just not true. And I'm not sure why he's using this instance here of Larry Elder not qualifying for the RNC debate as proof that no matter how hard you work, that the system being rigged against you means that you can't succeed. That's not the case when you're talking about being black in America, right? That's just not the case, okay? If you work hard and you make the right decisions, okay, if you take risk, but generally speaking, if you work hard, you will be successful. You will be able to be at the very least middle class, right? That's not an excuse to say that the whole system is systemically racist and holding black people back. These are not the two same things. Also, I would argue that Larry Elder kind of declared late. There wasn't much hype behind his campaign. He's also not a big name. He's not a governor. He's not a senator. He's not a billionaire. Okay, don't get me wrong. Larry's probably very well connected. But again, this wasn't necessarily really the primary that I think that Larry Elder would have had his best shot because, again, this primary essentially is all Trump, okay? So, I think that there's some moves that Larry Elder could have made, like, for example, declaring earlier that probably would have helped him out, and also going on these shows like Vivek Ramaswamy did, going on CNN, going on all these shows, and, destroying liberals like Charlamagne the God. I think if he would have done that a lot earlier, then he probably would have met the requirements that he needed to get in the debate, okay? That doesn't mean that just because the system is rigged that he can't overcome it. It just means that he needs to make some changes. That's what it means. Again, I hate the fact that he's not on stage, but at the same time, when I actually really think about it, I think there's some other things that he could have done to put himself in a better position.
Trust me, as black Americans, we know this. You know this too. Okay, my question is, when black people bring up systemic racism, institutionalized racism, whether you want to, whatever you want to call it, whether it's in the criminal justice system or education or healthcare, home ownership, food insecurity, whatever it is, we are told
it's not the same thing. Nothing's holding black people back from owning a home, except, I don't know, maybe Joe Biden's economy, okay, and high interest rates and high mortgage rates because of Joe Biden's economy and inflated housing prices. Yeah, that probably is holding black people back from owning a home, but that's not a systemic racism thing. That's just a systemic thing against working class, regular people in general, regardless of your race. Okay, everybody's suffering for that. That's not just targeting black folks, okay? But, take that out of it in general, right? Not counting Biden's economy, which again, Charlamagne the God voted for because he voted for Kamala Harris based off her skin color and what genitalia she has allegedly between her legs. Okay, there's plenty of black people that own a home. There's nothing in 2023 that's holding black people back from doing basically whatever you want to do. If you work hard and you make the right decisions, that's also a part of it. People don't understand. It's not just hard work. It's also making the right decisions. It's also being smart. It's also taking risks. There are multiple components to success. And what's crazy to me is how you can have somebody like Charlamagne the God, who, in my opinion, has no business, if he was a white man, that is, right, interviewing presidential candidates like, Vivek Ramaswamy or Larry Elder, or even interviewing the vice president of the United States, Kamala Harris, but he's able to do so in this country. He's able to achieve that. He has no business telling other black folks that, hey, the system's against you and you can't succeed no matter how hard you work because everything's rigged against you. Clearly, right? Clearly. If we're looking at Charlamagne the God as an example, you don't have to be that smart or that talented in order to become a multimillionaire and be a successful radio host, right? And interview presidential candidates and politicians. I'm just saying. And Charlamagne the God is black. But his skin color does not seem to be holding him back from being in a position that he is severely underqualified for, right? It's amazing how that works.
By the Larry Elders of the world, not to whine about it, which is something we discussed a lot last week and why we kept bringing it back to systems, because when things are systemically done to a people to put people in a certain condition, it's going to take something systemic to change it, which is why Larry Elder is saying he's going to sue the RNC. Now, on Fox News on August 18th, Larry Elder said he was still 2,000 unique donors shy of the debate's 40,000 minimum to qualify. A threshold, he says, as of August 21st, he met. Larry Elder has also reportedly not met the RNC's polling requirement of at least 1% in 3 qualifying state and national polls. And that's all according to his Fox News interview on August 18th. But according to him, he has 2. He said he had 2 on Fox News. Well, Politico says otherwise, okay? Politico said he didn't meet the donor or polling requirements, and Larry said the committee only informed him after sending in his qualification package for the debate that polls from a specific polling company he used weren't valid. Hey, man, I don't know what's what. I'm just giving you what's out there and letting you know Larry Elder didn't make the debate stage, and now he's suing the RNC. Personally, I think he should just work harder. Okay, we have some audio of Larry Elder. TMZ called him at the airport yesterday, right? Let's hear it.
As you can see, I'm at LAX en route to Milwaukee. I was just informed by the RNC that I'm not qualified for the debate. Why? Even though I exceeded the 40,000 individual donations required.
Allegedly.
Even though I signed the pledge to support the eventual nominee. Even though I submitted 3 polls where I was at least at 1%, I was informed that one of the polls is not eligible. It's the Rasmussen poll, even though it was the most accurate poll in predicting that Donald Trump would win in 2016. They say it is affiliated with Donald Trump and therefore it is not eligible. So we're filing an emergency injunction to get me up there. This is absolutely BS. One of the candidates, by the way, offered a $20 gift certificate for a $1 donation. That apparently is okay. Yep. Another one offered a free, air quotes, country western concert for a $1 donation. That apparently is okay. It is designed, in my opinion, to make sure that Ron DeSantis is the nominee. Anybody other than Trump. This is BS. I will see you in Milwaukee. Out.
Oh, Larry Elder taking down the whole CMB. Listen, man, the next GOP debate is September 27th at a library named after Larry Elder's favorite president, Ronald Reagan. It's the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, and it's in California, Larry Elder's home state. I don't think Larry Elder should sue because I don't believe it's the system holding him back. I believe he just has to work harder.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Part of that is true. Yeah, he should work harder. I actually agree with that. Yeah, Larry should work harder. He should go back on the Breakfast Club and destroy you again. Okay, and then he needs to make rounds on these other podcasts and, on, CNN, MSNBC, and do, again, what Vivek Ramaswamy's doing. He needs to do that. Okay, that's exactly what he needs to do. But, again, Larry Elder is not just boohoo whining and crying about it. He's doing something about it. He's suing. If you really believe that the system is racist against you, Charlamagne, okay, if you believe that some act of racism or discrimination was done against you, then I don't know, maybe you should sue, right? You should sue. You should sue that to try to change it. Again, unlike you, he's just not on his radio station boohoo whining and crying about it. He's actually taking action. And the fact that you're giving him donkey of the day over him missing the RNC in debate and then trying to use that as some way to prove your point that, well, the system is holding black people back, and that's why black people who work hard, no matter how hard they work, can't get ahead, is nonsense. It's ridiculous. It just shows you that your feelings are hurt. And also, what also is a shame is the fact that you got all this smoke for Larry Elder, but you don't have any smoke for Joe Biden. Joe Biden, the man who told you to your face that you ain't black if you don't vote for him. Crazy how that works. You're mad at Larry Elder for setting you straight and calling you out on your nonsense, but you're not mad at the man Joe Biden who essentially stripped you of your black card, homie, and told you if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Again, no smoke for him. This is salt right here. This man is so salt. He's so mad. He's so hurt. Right? He's so hurt. Larry Elder castrated him. He hurt.
Okay, you and your social media team and everyone who enjoyed you destroying the Breakfast Club last week just simply have to work harder. Boots to ground. And when those boots hit the ground, grab those bootstraps and pull yourself up, okay? You can't whine and complain about a system being rigged if you don't want black Americans whining and complaining about systemic racism. Okay?
Again, there's a difference between what he's talking about with the RNC and systemic racism, okay? There's a difference. There's a huge difference, okay? And to try to equate the two again is just it's foolish. It's ignorant. Again, this man is he's so salty, he's so mad.
Okay?
Hello.
Then you have to continue to lead by example, Larry. Okay, and you can't complain about the RNC system either. Now, you're not making this an issue of race because you don't believe in systemic racism, and I don't believe this is an issue of race. It's an issue of corruption because that's what politics are. There's corruption on both sides, Democrat and Republican. But like I said to you, when you were here, one party seems to still care about democracy, the other is leaning towards fascism. And by your own admission, it's a rigged system. That's what happens in
I'm sure he got the parties mixed up in terms of which one cares about democracy and which one cares about fascism. Because right now what the Democrats are doing is full-on fascism. Locking up your political opponents based off of politically motivated witch hunt is fascism. Okay? Democrats do not care about democracy. In fact, they hate democracy, especially when democracy doesn't go their way. Okay? It's been proven time and time and time again.
fascist society. Okay, Ben Johnson also says he wants to sue the RNC. He said in
Which, by the way, you notice how these guys always say, I'm independent, right? Like that Tesla and Figaro woman. I'm independent, but you work for Bernie Sanders, right? That all you mean is that you're a progressive who's not registered as a Democrat, but you still vote Democrat. Again, Charlemagne the God, same guy. I'm an independent, but you're out here peddling Democrat Party talking points about so-called democracy, right? Again, it's amazing. It's amazing. These guys are such a joke. They really are. And the fact that this guy, again, is trying to equate what Larry Elder is going through with what black people allegedly go through with systemic racism, right? It's just foolish. It's foolish and it's petty for this man to give Larry Elder donkey of the day. Again, it just really reconfirms just how much Larry Elder destroyed Charlemagne the God and just how mad Charlemagne the God is about it, right? Because his whole comment section, in fact, let me show you guys, even on this video right here, he thought he got this get back. But even the comments here are basically destroying this man. Larry spanked you, don't be mad. The fact that Charlamagne the God is trying to tear down Larry but said nothing to Biden is crazy to me. Breakfast Club tried to hit this man with a bunch of I got you type questions and he verbally destroyed them. It's levels to politics and discussing politics. They got schooled by a vet and they wasn't ready. Shit was hilarious. Personally, I think it's real goofy to turn against a guy who literally encouraging us to work as hard as we can to take care of our homes and make smart decisions as well. Don't sleep around with a bunch of different people and make crazy mistakes or commit crimes. Yeah, I mean, we all know. Okay, we all know. The entire Breakfast Club was in a deeper state of cognitive dissonance from the beginning. When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of a loser. How was the Breakfast Club not dying of embarrassment after what Larry Elder did to them? When he brought up Joe Biden telling him he isn't black for not voting for him, that stung Charlamagne to God. It did. Again, Charlotte was on standby with this one. I've never seen Charlamagne at a loss of words like when Larry was up there. He found the words today, though. Yo, Charlamagne, he's not complaining. He's suing and still going after the presidency no matter what. Exactly. That's the point. See, Charlamagne don't get that, again, because his brain is too small to comprehend it. Man, if you didn't have to take y'all to school, he probably could have talked about the help he needed to get on the stage. I don't think the Breakfast Club will ever recover from that beatdown from Mr. Elder. This isn't making y'all look any better from that last ass whooping Larry gave the Breakfast Club. Larry Elder played you for an absolute clown, and now he talking today. Yeah, so every comment here, right? Every comment is destroying Charlamagne the God for this, bro. Again, everybody knows he's so salty. He felt that interview, bro. Again, his cojones went back into his stomach, dog. Like, Larry castrated him. Okay, and he's a castrated man, right? Walking around with his tail tucked between his legs. Yeah, Charlamagne the God, just take the L, bro. Take the L. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.